Instagram stories for Thursday, August 15th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. Let's jump right into the news. The biggest news of the day has to do with the TikTok app, which is now expanded for group chats to support up to 32 people. If you are the kind of person who is sharing the videos that you create or the videos that you love with people via the TikTok DMs, you probably are doing that like I am all throughout the day. You might want to make a group chat, and maybe you have a group chat on text message or Instagram DMs because you want to include as many family members and friends as you can in that group chat. Well, now TikTok supports that, so you can have up to 32 people sharing videos that you are enjoying on the platform. I think this is a key move by TikTok to at least try to chip away at some of the hold that Instagram DMs, text message, Facebook Messenger has on the way that people communicate today. Oh, and WhatsApp. I forgot WhatsApp. TikTok has also put in place some important privacy controls for teens. Group chat is not available for people on the TikTok app who are ages 13 to 15, and they've taken steps to allow older teens ages 16 and 17 to enjoy group messaging, but with the appropriate steps to block communication from strangers. Everyone, including teens, can only be added to a group chat by their friends, people who follow them that they also follow. If a teen is sent a link to join a group conversation, they will not be able to join unless the group includes at least one mutual friend. If they are eligible to join, they will be required to make a proactive decision in order to join that group chat. When a teen creates a group conversation, by default, TikTok will require them to review and approve new joiners. I really like all these steps. Read more about this in the link that I will include in the show notes. Let's continue with a little bit more TikTok news. Creator economy expert Leah Haberman, who, by the way, is a friend of the show. I recently interviewed her for this podcast. Go back and listen if you didn't have a chance. She spotted in the TikTok app a new promotion which outlines incentives for inviting YouTube and Instagram creators with big followings to create accounts on TikTok. This is super interesting. The screenshot says, invite new creators, get a $300 promote coupon or a $100 Amazon gift card for each eligible invitation. What you have to do is invite someone who has at least 10,000 YouTube subscribers or 100,000 Instagram followers, and then they have to verify the accounts on TikTok. This strikes me as slightly desperate, to be honest with you. Paying people to get their friends to create accounts on TikTok is not a good look, but also the platforms do have to work hard to incentivize people to create content on those platforms. If you're making enough money from YouTube that you never bothered to think about TikTok, well, then why would you ever even consider it? Maybe if a friend was incentivized, they might convince you. That's the concept there, and overall, I respect it. I will link to screenshots of what this looks like in the show notes so you can see it. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Instagram creating its own Snap Map, like Snapchat had back in the day, probably still has. And we're going to hear an audio clip from the head of Instagram chatting with a musician called Parrish Howard about creating viral moments, learning from flops, and embracing authenticity. So stick around. Oh, hey, welcome back. It appears that Instagram is testing a new feature that looks a lot like a Snap Map, which has been around since 2017. Here's how this works. Instagram users can post text and video updates to a map based on where they were taken. The map is then shared with friends whose updates can all appear alongside each other. Now, the difference between what Snap implemented in 2017 and this is that Instagram is going to probably implement a lot more limited privacy settings. Users have to choose a specific group of people to share their location with, like your close friends list or only followers that they follow back. This is according to Christine Pai, a Meta spokesperson. The screenshot that I'm looking at from Instagram says, find your friends and leave notes on the map. Leave a note for friends. Choose who can see your note, then move the map to place it. Share your location with people you trust. People you choose to share with will see your precise location as a circle on the map. Choose when you share. Only the people you share with can see your location and notes. You can turn off location sharing at any time. And then you have the option to choose friends, so you can pick which friends you want to share your location with. I think this is an interesting concept because there are times if you are in a public space, maybe you're at a coffee shop or you're at a bar and you're by yourself or with a small group, and you don't mind if other friends in your social circle know that you're there and maybe they stop by and hang out for a little while. However, there are scenarios for security reasons where you might not want anyone to know your location, and that is completely understandable. Interested to see how Instagram rolls this out. And of course, it's always fun when apps copy features directly from each other, especially if the feature has been around a long time. And lastly, here's a clip from the interview that the head of Instagram, Adam Mosseri, did with Parrish Howard, who is a musician, where they talk about how to go viral on the platform and how to build more authentic moments. Here's a clip of the head of Instagram explaining about authentic moments on the platform.
People seem to, in a world where they're inundated with overly scripted and produced content, really have a lot of appetite and hunger for authentic content.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone's going to be their full authentic self in public online, but you will share more and more of that depending on how comfortable you are sharing.
Yeah.
And when you are tapping into something authentic, people can tell.
Yeah.
They can tell.
Yeah.
And it resonates. And I think we see over and over across all these different verticals, that's the kind of content that tends to do well.
Yeah.
And you won't always expect it. Like a random example is for soccer, what most of the world calls football, like we see often warm-ups do really well. Like highlights, great. Like it's a thing that's the kind of content you can get anywhere.
Yeah.
If you actually see someone go on live during a warm-up, you just feel like you're getting a little bit of
So that, like you're there.
Yeah, exactly. Like a behind the scenes, a peek behind the curtain that you would normally not get.
That was a long roundabout way to say, just film whatever you're doing, call it behind the scenes content, and post it on your Instagram stories. I could have said that in one sentence. Sometimes I can be quite terse, I will say. In this next clip, the head of Instagram asks this creator why certain videos that he's made have gone viral.
Like you have your sort of your core audience, you post, your stuff does well, but every once in a while you have something that just sort of explodes.
Yeah.
What do you think it is about moments like the settling down cat on your head video that like resonated and why they sort of popped in that kind of way?
I really think that like cat lovers just ride hard for cats.
Yeah, they do.
I think it hit specific audiences that they really resonate with it. And they're just like, this. It's wild to see a guy with a cat on his head. I love that.
Yeah.
So I want to share that with other people.
Like when that happens, does it change how you think about your content in general? Or you're just like, oh, that's great, that's amazing, but that's a fluke. It's just going to be what it is.
I'm always surprised by what pops off. I'm just like, oh, I'll just put this up there.
Yeah.
Those things always pop off.
Yeah.
And I think maybe it's because they're the more organic moments.
Yeah.
And some of the more moments that are maybe like more planned out don't resonate with people as much.
I do think that is a good takeaway. If you focus on making more natural content, not as polished, that may do very well for you. It's worth experimenting with. That is going to do it for today's episode. Hopefully you found this content valuable and helpful. If you did, you know what to do. Go on Apple Podcasts and leave a review of this show. It does not cost you anything. It only takes a minute, and it's the best way to say thank you. Plus, I might feature your review on the show. Be sure to come back next time for more social media news, strategy, other things you need to be aware of, and my 2 cents on everything.
Let me tell you a couple things that you should know about me. A product manager but do not have a bachelor's degree. But actually that's factually a fraction of me. Another fraction's posting content irregular and irrationally. Still probably won't get a job at the Gram. They forgot, they don't know, or don't care who I am. That's why you never see me at the parties and events. My lack of followers must make me irrelevant. Don't have a course of book to sell to make a bag of grand. Not a social media marketer, don't represent any brands. Plain to see, don't have an agency, but I got a lot of spam. Just putting in my work without the glitz and glam. Won't catch me eating fish unless it's shrimp or clam. No six pack, no risk that there's a gym card in my hand. Don't have a full-time job, but I got a lot of plans. Stay plotting, dropping knowledge on TikTok and Instagram.